When we come forward, we have got my post one-on-one interview with someone that is perfect to have this conversation with me regarding AI. I'm talking about rocket scientist, author, and genius, Olympia LePoint, inside my post one-on-one, Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about right now, news and traffic. Let's go. Are we ready? I'm kind of scared. Am I supposed to be scared of this interview? I don't know. You've heard many of my post one-on-one interviews on my show with people that I feel that have their fingers on the pulse of Black America. And tonight, you get another boost of Black brilliance and excellence with interviews with people that I feel that you need to know, especially the ones that are a friend of the show. Recently receiving the 2023 Irwin Award at the Los Angeles Times Festival of Books for her Answers Unleashed STEM Educational Science book series, rocket scientist Olympia LePoint has hailed the new Einstein by her fans and named the modern-day hidden figure by People magazine and Newsweek. Olympia LePoint is an award-winning former NASA rocket scientist, TED speaker, and celebrity author. With advanced degrees in applied mathematics, LePoint helped launch 28 NASA space shuttle missions to space and won the Modern Day Technology Leader Engineer of the Year award. She gave the TED Talks, Reprogramming Your Brain to Overcome Fear, which has over 1 million views, by the way. And in 2019, she was the keynote speaker of the SAS Global Technology Forum when she spoke to 6,000 AI engineers in the audience about AI innovation and human decision making. And for more information about the greatness of Olympia LePoint, this queen, here's a short clip that illustrates her greatness. Listen.
Innovation is here. You are watching this video for a reason. No matter what you've gone through, no matter what you fear, your decisions from this point forward will bring you the answers that will be unleashed. I am Olympia LePoint. No matter what you've gone through, no matter what you fear, no matter your situation, you can always find success for yourself and attract the life that you want. The key is deciding to reprogram your mind. Now, it's not easy, but it can be 100% done. I know. I did it myself. I'm a rocket scientist. I helped launch 28 NASA missions to space and wrote the books Mathophobia, How You Can Overcome Your Math Fears and Become a Rocket Scientist, Answers Unleashed, The Science of Unleashing Your Brain's Power, and my latest book, Answers Unleashed 2, The Science of Attracting What You Want. And I have developed a new type of science, thought science, the tree brain theory of relativity, and it's from my space knowledge and my personal experiences to help you unlock the power of your mind. In my youth, I experienced severe poverty, failing grades, emotional, physical, sexual abuse. I had to find a way to reprogram my brain to overcome toxic thinking and fear. My future self was banking on me to have the faith for a better tomorrow and to listen to the inner parts of myself who knows the truth. You have inner parts to yourself who knows the truth too. As a result, on TV, in my books, and on stages across the world, I show the process of unleashing your brain's power. Now, are you ready? Today, your answers will be unleashed.
She better unleash these answers tonight, because I need them, because tonight she descends into the Danny Mo Show to discuss artificial intelligence, to calm or stoke our fears about the technology, how we humans are at another turning point in history within innovation and technology, like when the printing press and the light bulb and the internet were created, and whether I need to become Will Smith in iRobot and beat up the bad guys. I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen, inside my post one-on-one, rocket scientist, author, and literal genius, Queen Olympia LePoint. How you doing, huh?
Danny!
What's up?
How are you? It's so great to be on your show again. This is so much fun. You always ask the best questions, and I'm here tonight to uncover and explain artificial intelligence.
We are scared.
I'm excited.
We are really scared.
No, don't be scared. Don't be scared, because I'm going to break it down so you know. So you know exactly how it works.
Andy says I'm the only one that's scared. You were scared last night, and then Fahima's also in the YouTube thread saying she's going to calm my fears.
I was never scared.
Don't you leave me out there by myself. You leave me out there by myself?
You here by yourself, Daddy Mom. I'm sorry. I'm ready to embrace
You know,
it.
there's a lot of people scared, and at the same time, there's a lot of people excited, and at the same time, there's a lot of people on the fence. So the key to this particular episode, and I'm so happy that you brought me on, because this particular episode, we're going to talk about artificial intelligence. We're going to talk about how it was originated, how it's used beneficially, how it's not supposed to be used. And what I want you to walk away with is this. I want you to walk away knowing that not all AI is good AI. In fact, there's what I call dark AI. You can actually quote me on
racism. Do you see the racism even in AI technology? Why it's gotta be dark AI? What's that?
Well, you know how there's like the dark web? You know how there's like the dark web, how evil things go on? Well, if we do not use the AI in what I call a good way, if we don't use it in a good way, we're going to just destroy the abilities of what we see for ourselves in the future. Good AI is when we use ethics and human decision-making and apply it to the data so we keep users safe. And so we're gonna break down AI so you're not going to be scared of it. We're going to know that it's a tool and how it works. And we're going to walk away knowing some deep information tonight because you're going to be armed with knowledge and armed with information.
I love it.
I'm excited tonight.
I love it. We got Olympia LePoint inside my Pulse 101 Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. I will be remiss if I didn't give you some love and tell you congratulations for your 2023 Irwin Award at the Los Angeles Times Festival of Books a couple weeks ago. I was out there a day after you was out there. I got your text message saying you were going to be there. I was like, I missed Olympia, but I saw your post on LinkedIn. Congratulations, Queen. Talk a little bit about that.
Thank you so much. Yes, I received the 2023 Irwin Award, and the Irwin Award is given to individuals who have shown an outstanding contribution to writing in the news. And specifically, the Irwin Award stands for the Industry Recognition of Writers in the News Award, and it was named after the Hollywood publicist, the late Hollywood publicist Irwin Zucker. He represented celebrities like Zsa Zsa Gabor, Norma Vincent Peale, Helen Gurley Brown. If you know who I'm talking about, you know that these were some like heavy hitters. And so I was honored because I was given the Irwin Award named after him. And Irwin Zucker, who the award is named after, he was my mentor for over 10 years.
Wow.
Before I even wrote my first book, Mathophobia, he brought me underneath his wing and introduced me to his contacts, and he literally helped me write award-winning books. And he was, I think he was like 80, probably like 82 at the time.
Wow.
He lived a long life, and I was so honored to be mentored by him. And he helped me create products that would help people in schools, help people at corporations, help people online with digital products, and then help people in conferences. And so I ended up speaking at the SAS Global Global Technology Forum to 6,000 artificial intelligence engineers with my book series.
Wow.
So I am so thankful for his leadership. He passed away last year and passed away peacefully, which is a good thing. And I am honored to receive this award. And I received the award at the Los Angeles Times Festival of Books that just happened. And if you go to my website, answersunleashed.com/Irwin Award, you can actually look at pictures and see more about the award.
Andy, give her a little bit more love, because that's also the way you sell your brand. You see that? You see that segue? Boom, right into it. Boom. Danny, I got this award, by the way. Y'all want to see it? Boom. Here's the website right here. I love it. When we come forward, I usually ask my guests that come on, what is your 25th letter, top 5 dead or alive? But you know what? You're going to do that throughout this entire interview, I'm sure. So we're just going to embed that within this talk that we're about to have about artificial intelligence with Olympia LePoint. The phone number, 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. We will calm your fears or stoke your fears in the next hour on the Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Stay right there. All right, let's get into it inside my Pulse One-on-One with Olympia LePoint. She is a rocket scientist, a genius, and an author as well. We're talking AI technology tonight. Now, Olympia, I read up on all the content you sent me, and I appreciate that, by the way. But I really want you to talk to me tonight like I'm a third grader on this subject, because I practically am. I'm going to keep it real. So first and let's start with, can you please tell us how AI technology even works? Because I don't think we even understand the concept.
Okay. Well, first, let me. What I'm going to do is just going to tell you just a brief overview of AI, but then I'm going to tell you some drawbacks of it.
Okay.
So you can understand what's going on. I mean, I'm going to put it in like a real easy way.
Please do.
And then so everybody can understand it, because it took me a while to understand it too. So I'm really, really hearing what you're saying, which is everybody really needs to understand this in a really clear way. Basically, AI is the ability for computers to be able to learn from itself instead of checking a computer program. And when it learns from itself, it can spit out information and give you information instead of referencing a computer code. That's the whole point of AI. The problem with it is what it spits out isn't always necessarily accurate. And the problem with it is what it spits out, some people can use against you. So what we're going to do is just completely just understand AI in a very, very simple way. Okay. Do you remember like a couple of, I think it was like last month or two, it was like everybody was putting in their photos in this AI computer system, and they were generating like different photos based on this AI, and they were like getting these action photos and getting cartoon photos from there.
I downloaded that app and now I regret it. I downloaded the app too and tried it. I cannot deny.
Oh boy, yeah, and it's a lot of people did that. So we have to be really careful. Some AI is not good AI. What some AI does, not all of them, there's good AI and there's dark AI. Some AI takes in your information and gives you back some accurate results. Or some AI takes your information and steals it. Like, for example, if you think that all artificial intelligence programs are good, I want you to think again. Not all artificial intelligence programs are here to help you. If you think they're always going to give you the right answer, I want you to remove that thought. Artificial intelligence, in other words, AI, is a system that is literally a tool. It can spit out information. It can be either the truth that it spits out, or it can be false information, which a lot of people call propaganda. You don't know. And then only human decision-making, like what we have in our brain, how we see information, and how we can fact-check it when it comes out, will ensure that you're giving the right answer. If you think artificial intelligence programs will always make your photos look better, think again.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these AI codes actually really do make your images look good, and they strictly do that. While some other AI programs will purposely steal your identity, and we've seen this because we've seen like multi-million-dollar celebrities have their brands taken away.
That's right.
And fake information, fake songs being brought up. I think Drake was one of them, and like Jay-Z was another person.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on what type of AI you use, can take your information and create what we call a composite. So you have to be careful of that. If you think all artificial intelligence has a mind of its own, cancel that thought. Humans are the ones behind all of the people who create the patterns of the data. I'm going to break this down so it really makes sense.
But before you break it down, you just said early in your thesis there that AI is computer learning from itself. So it sounds as though there doesn't have to be human interaction for AI to do what it is doing. If you're saying it is now learning from itself, is that not true?
It's actually learning from the computer programs that humans have programmed into it. So humans can actually go inside the program and change what we call the weights. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. What there are is deep learning networks. This is so good. I think we can.
So far, I'm terrified. I don't know about good. I'm scared.
No. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Okay.
So this AI, it's helpful. All it is a tool, but it's like a hammer. You can either hit a hammer and drive a nail with the way it's supposed to be done, or you can hit someone on top of the head and cause a traumatic brain injury, which, of course, is illegal and against the law and horrible. The same concept is with this AI. It's a tool. we must know the direction to hit this AI tool innovation so it's used ethically and correctly. Otherwise, we're going to kill human decision making. We're going to cure our just kill our privacy. Even it can damage national security. So the key thing is we can become aware of how this AI works, because we have a great technological future that exists only if it's used ethically. So we can invest in good AI.
But Olympia, you and I both know at the end of the day, the human being is going to chase the dollar. You know, if it can make him money, we're going to continue to do it. We're going to continue to push the technology to make that money. And that's why Google's in here now. Microsoft is in here now. OpenAI is in here now. All of these companies want to make money. You know and I know that human behavior and greed at the end of the day is going to drive where AI goes. We're not going to self-regulate ourselves with this technology. I just don't believe that's going to happen.
I have a more pleasant view of the future.
Okay, well, I'm scared. I'm the scared one.
I agree that a lot of people are in it for money. I mean, we see that right now. And we've seen that in the past. Look at all the different innovations that's been made and how it's been used, like the internet, for example. We saw the internet use. People use it. At first, it was like emails. Remember, people use emails back and forth, and then there was like the miniature type of websites that were built, and then they got more advanced and more advanced. But then people started using the internet for cyber hacking, and then people started having like the dark internet, which was trading all this illegal financial information back and forth. So, with any tool, any innovation, there's opportunities to use it correctly and not correctly. The key thing here is there's no particular laws established for AI yet. We humans can create how this particular tool can be used so it's going to be a benefit to humanity, not the other way around.
We're talking to Olympia LePoint, Inside My Pulse 101, Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. Questions are coming in. I'll bounce back and forth between the questions on YouTube and also my questions I have myself. C. Porter said, can we cut to the chase and talk about how it is already being used for warfare? The New York Times just put out an article on that.
Oh, well, okay. Let me explain how it's used first, so you understand how the warfare, how it can be used for warfare, and it can be used to be able to track and take down criminals too at the same time. So remember, it's a tool depending on how it's used. All right. So Danny, you asked me, and you first asked me, what is this exactly? What is this AI?
Yeah.
And we're going to break it down so we see. First off, before we get into this, how many minutes do I have before we go to a break?
Look at you. That's a professional right there. That's a professional of the Danny Mo Show. You see that right there? We have 4 minutes. So break it down in sections if you don't mind.
Okay, so I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break down the first section. So I'm going to explain what this is, and then I'm going to explain it. I'm going to explain the science of it. I'm going to explain the history, and I'm going to break it down so it's really, really simple. All right. The first part is how there was what we call a deep learning revolution. So artificial intelligence has been around for a very long time, surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until recently in 2018 that we have what we call this revolution where all this AI information started coming through. And that happened in 2018. There were 3 researchers that got Nobel Peace Prize for computing in neural networks. It was called artificial intelligence machine learning.
Bengio, Hinton, and LeCun won the Turing Award, right?
Yeah.
I did my research. I'm telling you, I did my research.
I love to hear a smart man. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Now we pull up a chair. You know what I'm saying? We could just getting started. You were saying, go ahead. I'm sorry. Please continue. I love it. Yes, there's 3 people, and what this neural network is a mathematical system that learns by analyzing data. Soon, companies like Google, Microsoft, OpenAI began building what we call neural networks that learn from huge amounts of digital text. And we call this digital text large language
models. In other words, LLMs. So large language models, LLMs, is what the data it takes off of your phone, takes off the internet, takes off all these different computer systems, and it stores it, and that's called the large language model. It takes all that data and finds patterns with it, and then based on the pattern that's found with the mathematical code, it gives you an answer. So that's the whole point of it.
All right.
Now, in the next minute, I'm going to start this, and we can continue it after the break. So this Turing Award, which is the Nobel Peace Prize of Computing, it carried $1 million prize. But get this, it was financially supported by Google.
Yeah.
And it was named like the Turing Award from a British mathematician who was able to calculate the mathematical limits of computing. Now, a lot of people don't know is that for over 30 years, actually longer than 30 years, it started when I was 6 years old, there were 3 scientists who had been working on this heavily, but due to some recent advances with cell phones, graphic cards in computers, and cell phones that have to read the videos that come across, that created large data models for 3 scientists, Yoshua Bengio, Jeffrey Hinton, and Yang LeCun, to create machine learning for artificial intelligence. And so when we come back, I'm going to tell you what they did.
Look at... Do I have a co-host? But still. Do you see Olympia LePoint being professional? Do you see? I love it. And she is right. 3 researchers, Bengio, Hinton, and LeCun, won the Turing Award, known as the Nobel Prize of Computing, for their work on neural networks, also called artificial intelligence, machine learning. Okay? That's what she said.
Yeah.
Because that's what I looked at. When we come forward, we continue the discussion, and I will try to understand. I ain't gonna lie, I'm still a little bit confused. Can't lie, but we'll get more into it. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Talking AI with Olympia LePoint inside my Pulse One-on-One Danny Mo Show. KBLA, stay there. Get Olympia LePoint back up in here. Olympia, I know you've heard that song 10 million times. He doesn't know about She Blinded Me with Science. Can you believe that?
Oh, well, we were 80s kids. So.
Exactly. He doesn't understand.
Before major computers were out.
But if we don't play that song, I was trying to think, what song is out about science? Is there another song to play?
That's a good question.
I think that's the only one I can remember in my entire lifetime, though. That's pretty pathetic. That's why we're behind on science right now. Talking to Olympia LePoint. She is the rocket scientist breaking us down on exactly what's going on with AI. You were saying prior to us taking a break. Please continue.
Oh my gosh, we were breaking down what is AI. So artificial intelligence, there's different types of artificial intelligence. And I'm going to break down to you the artificial intelligence that people are talking about in the news today. Well, let me first break this down. We've been using artificial intelligence for a long time.
Right.
We've been using it, for example, with self-driving cars. We've been using it with medical imaging analysis, the voice-activated assistants on the cell phone. Like, Siri, give me my information. Information filtering. We've been using AI, but we haven't been using deep learning AI.
Right.
So if you can write these down, here's the professor side coming out of me. Write down these three words, or remember these 3 words.
No, I'm gonna write them down.
Machine learning.
Wait, hold on. I told you, act like I'm a 3rd grader tonight because I am.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, go ahead.
Machine learning.
Machine learning, okay. Give me the definition of that. What is that?
Machine learning is artificial intelligence with computing neural networks.
Okay. Artificial intelligence with computing neural networks. Okay, what's the next word?
Yes. And then the next one is the definition of neural networks.
Okay, neural networks. What in the HE double hockey sticks is that?
That refers to systems composed with layers. In computer science, the term neural networks refers to systems composed of layers.
Of layers, not with layers, of layers.
Of layers,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
Deep learning.
Deep learning. Now, that's the big one right there. I definitely want you to break that down. Now, what is that?
Yeah, deep learning. This is a little sub-branch of AI research. That's what's booming and taking off right now. This is when the computer is not told how to solve a problem.
When a computer is told not to solve a problem? Is that what you said?
It's not explicitly told how to solve the problem.
Oh, is not told to solve a problem.
No, I'm not told like how to solve it. Like, for example, if I give you what's 2 plus 2, you have the answer 4.
Right.
But some people can solve the problem. Let's say I don't tell you how to get the number 4, but I say, what's the answer? Some people will use their fingers. Some people will put objects on the table and count them. Some people will write it down on a piece of paper and do 2 plus 2 and get the number. There's different ways to get the answer, the same answer, but there's different pathways to get to that.
Okay.
So when this deep learning refers to when you're telling a computer to get 2 plus 2, but you don't tell how to get 4.
Right. Okay.
So this is the 3 key parts to this. So I'm going to break down what each of these are.
Okay, go ahead.
So machine learning is when the machine itself takes information and it learns from the information that it takes in.
Okay.
Right? So neural networks, these are like, how should I say this?
Break it down.
They're like, they're supposed to resemble like a human brain. So they have what they call neurons. And it's these neurons in a computer carry information. And there's these hubs that carry information. Like in the human brain,
right,
there's like neurons, and each cell contains information. And so there's dendrites, which are like the branches that connect the neurons together. And like the dendrites are like the branches on a tree. So in a computer, this is similar. Like the neurons hold a big set of information, cluster of information in one place. Like so a big cluster of information may be on your computer. Another big cluster of information may be on IBM server. Another cluster of information may be on a satellite. Another cluster of information may be over at Facebook. So each one of these hubs carry a large amount of data.
Andy was just saying, is it kind of like if you look at a computer chip, you can see the different networks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good example too. So these neurons try to resemble a brain. So that's what a neural network is. So let's look at deep learning.
A little sub-branch
No, we already
AI.
talked about that.
I'm writing it all down. Go ahead.
Okay. So get this. Each one of these scientists were working on this. I mean, do you know what year they started working on this? When I found this out, I was like in shock. Guess what year they started working on this?
I have no idea.
1980.
Wow. See, Andy, big things happen in the 80s. You just don't know it. Yeah.
1980. I was like, what?
I wasn't born yet, so. Shut your mouths right now, all of you. Shut your mouths right now. But go ahead, you were saying.
So in 1980, LeCun, I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, LeCun was the first one to introduce neural networks to the system. So how he did it was he saw how a neural network system could read handwritten digits. You know how you go to an ATM and you put your information and you put your check in the ATM? Well, the ATM reads the handwriting on a check. So that started back in 1980. So that type of information is used today within, like I said before, the self-driving cars, the medical imaging, the voice-activated assistants. That comes from his technology that was created in 1980.
That's a good illustration. Yeah.
Isn't it? This is so fascinating when I started finding this out. So this isn't anything that's new. We're just finding out about it that's new.
So does Siri and Alexa land in that category?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it's called neural networks.
Okay.
Convolutional neural networks. And then in 1986, if you can remember where you were in 1986, some people weren't born yet.
I wasn't born.
I was born.
I wasn't born yet.
I was.
Why is that funny?
What more do
I
you
was.
want from
I'll gladly say I was born and I remember it. 1986, that's when Hinton found backpropagation. I mean, doesn't that sound something?
Yeah.
They were like, what is backpropagation? I'll tell you what it is. It's when you create an algorithm so it reads. So it reads whatever is on the paper. It reads whatever is in the digital image. So it's an algorithm that puts together representation of data and it looks at it as a whole picture. So it reads what's on the picture, what's on the paper, what's on the information. So it's basically a math algorithm that can read information and put it all together and tell you what's on the page, what's written on the page, what's written on the check, what's scanned on your printer. That.
Okay.
So we use that right now.
Hold that thought. When we come forward, I only got you for like 15 minutes. I had a couple clips I want to play. And we got to run through those for Olympia because I think they're really relevant to the discussion tonight.
Yes.
Can you
when we get back, I'm going to tell you the benefits and the cons of using all this.
Okay. Can we get you for another 15 minutes after the top of the hour? Is that okay?
Oh yeah, I can talk.
That's what we know. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Rocket scientist Olympia LePoint talking AI inside the Danny Mo Show. KBLA, stay there.
You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Immersed in the conversation, talking AI with Olympia LePoint. She's a rocket scientist and a hidden figure. You know, today's hidden figure, a modern day hidden figure. I got to tell you, Olympia, getting a couple text messages, a couple DMs, you know, people want to really get to the, the good stuff. You know, they love the nuts and bolts. You're going, telling them what's going on with AI. A lot of this is over our heads, We want to talk about, should we be afraid? Should we embrace it? I got a couple clips that I hope will speak to exactly what our fears are. But tell us about what the fears are and how you can calm our fears just a little bit. And after the top of the hour here, I'll bring you those clips and we'll really dig in. So go ahead. You were making your case.
Oh, you do realize, I think we could actually do a whole series on AI in itself. So we're going to try and get through some of these questions over here.
And yeah, to be
What
fair,
was the first one?
To be fair to my listeners, you got to understand this technology is not something that can just be summarized in like an hour. She is a scientist, and I'm sure she could break this down in a series over an entire week. We're just doing our best, the best we can, to get you as much information as possible. But on this show, I always say we talk kitchen table topics on this show to bring it down to the kitchen table level, so people can talk about it with their families. So I appreciate you giving us the nuts and bolts. So please continue. But why should we be scared, and why should we embrace it?
I'm going to give you 4 reasons why we should embrace it, and I'm also going to give you 4 reasons why we should be concerned.
Ooh, she has an 8 series. An 8 series from Olympia LePoint. By the way, give it to her. Drop that.
One topic, 7
Let's go.
answers.
Olympia LePoint with an 8 series.
It's time for the 7th series on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
All right, the floor is yours, Queen. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, so like I was saying last time, these 3 scientists have been working on this, and the last scientist, Bengio, in 1990s, found statistics to be able to pull together all this data that really took off just recently when we had cell phones, especially in the pandemic, too, when everybody was using their cell phones and streaming to watch movies and everything else. Mm-hmm. All that was large data. So we see programs like ChatGPT, Midjourney, Bard, among others, using this AI. Mm-hmm. So let's break down 4 good reasons how it's beneficial, and then we're going to look at 4 really, really, concerning reasons why we should be scared too.
Okay.
All right. Well, not should be scared, should be concerned. I really, truly believe fear is like a terrible spirit that we just were never born with. Mm-hmm. I think we need to just find out information. So the first thing that is beneficial for AI is it generates content. So these large learning models, where all of this data is held, it generates information. It pulls together information from all these different areas, and it can create things that's very helpful. Blog posts, it can create poems, it even can have computer algorithms, and you can carry on conversations based on the information where it pulls, which is good. And it can help computer programmers and writers and do things more quickly. So that's a pro. That's a good thing. It helps with digital searches. There's so much information on the web. You just sometimes don't even know where to go. And it pulls out all this information from different areas. So it can give you information, and it can direct you to information where you can find summaries of things, and it pulls it from different areas, and it makes research much quicker. And there's AI assistants that will deliver information upon request.
Now, I know that Microsoft and Google are very much involved in this AI technology. Are you saying this technology is going to replace Google, which is the most searched engine in the world?
Actually, there's a couple of companies that focus specifically and are the highest with AI. The top companies right now are Apple, Intel, Google, Amazon Prime, Amazon.com rather, Microsoft, IBM, NVIDIA, and OpenAI. So those are the companies that are the top companies that are using this right now. The third reason is that it actually helps with medicine. Some of the recent advances in the AI has helped create medicines for people fighting cancers. And I did a podcast with somebody that used AI from Google, facial recognition, and they were able to, I think it was a CEO from Cinvenio. I'm curious if he's still at the company, but it was a company that I had on my podcast, the Answers Unleashed podcast. And he said that he used Google facial recognition data and translated that to the human cell genome to be able to identify when there was reoccurring cancers in people before the technical imaging was able to detect it.
I don't know if that is a positive or a negative. I don't know if I should be scared or cheering that.
But no, it actually it helped the people creating the chemotherapy to create the right chemotherapy so people beat the cancer.
No, I know
so
that
really
part
good.
Is a positive. What I'm saying is, if we get to the point where AI technology is that immersed within the human experience, it starts to get scary because you say it's learning on its own. It's learning how to progress on its own. If it starts doing, go ahead.
Some of it is learning on its own, but remember, humans are behind what it learns. So at any point in time, a human can go in and change the algorithms to connect the dots in a certain way and say, do not pull from this information. Do not use this information because that's not accurate. Humans have that ability with the mathematicians that code it.
Yeah.
So that coding comes from humans. No computer actually is learning completely on its own because it's all created by an algorithm that a human creates. And then the last thing that's really good is robotics and computer systems and actually drones. AI is actually trained to find patterns in huge libraries of text, and that includes software programs. It can interpret requests like computer codes. It can actually fly drones and robots in certain situations, especially dangerous situations or emergency situations. So this is really good.
Do you think that this is going to accelerate being able to find cures for cancer, cures for HIV, and such? The further we move along.
Only if it's tested. See, here's the bad thing. If someone uses AI and think it will give the right answer without testing it to see if it's the right answer, someone's going to really, really just run off a cliff. Because the reason why is that AI has no ability to check its own answer. So this is the dangers of AI. And then you bring up a really good point. This brings us up to the dangers of AI. It can produce inaccurate results. Okay, for example, let's look at the news. We know that Ben Affleck, who's just married J-Lo, is super tall, right? I think he's like 6'4",
right.
6'3" or 6'4". And we know that because when J-Lo stands next to him, she's like really petite and she has on these really tall shoes, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say there's some people that give an incorrect quote of his height online. Let's say they say he's 5'7". Mm-hmm. Let's say it was a typo. They meant to put 6'3", but for some reason they put 5'7". Let's say artificial intelligence is going through different web pages, getting information out, and it pulls out that Ben Affleck is 5'7", and not 6'4". And it starts telling you that Ben Affleck is 5'7". But our human brain can know that's not accurate information because the human brain does something that no computer does. It checks the results. It checks the results by using a prior knowledge and usage of learning capabilities in different parts of the human brain to connect the dots to see if the information that we have is actually accurate or not. Artificial intelligence doesn't have that capability. It's a computer.
Okay. Now, see, that actually makes it hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
We will continue this on the other side. 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. We continue our conversation on AI with Olympia LePoint, modern-day hidden figure. Talking AI inside my Pulse One-on-One, Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580, news and traffic now. Trying to think of the right songs to play for Olympia LePoint that are related to her topic of conversation. There ain't many songs out there talking science and computers. You know what I'm saying? But this is very good, though. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We're in conversation right now, an extended conversation with Olympia LePoint, a modern-day hidden figure, also rocket scientist and author and motivational speaker and award winner. 86, not 1986, is it? Really? Wow.
Was it 1986?
It doesn't
I
seem
love
like
that song, by the way. I was like grooving over here. You should have seen me. I was just loving that song.
What do you listen to anyway? You know, off topic. What you listen to? I get in your car. What you
Oh
doing?
my gosh. I listen to good music. I mean, it could be anything with good lyrics and good music tone. It could be anything from pop, anything from jazz, anything from like...
That is such a cop-out answer. Will you tell me who you listening to? Will you stop it right now? Come on.
I mean, do you really want to know, like, the exact artist?
Yeah, who's your go-to? If I get in your car with you and you say, I'm going to turn on some music, click, what you turn on?
Oh, see, I'm eclectic. I will like 1980s music, like Sheila E.
Okay, okay.
Like Sheila E. I love Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Love Prince.
We all love Prince, for sure. Okay, see,
Love Prince.
I thought you was going to go Cyndi Lauper or Pat Benatar or something. I wasn't sure where you were going to go.
No, but do you know what? Some of the British pop music was really good back in the 1980s too. I like Duran Duran was really good back in the 80s. I'm dating myself when I tell you about that.
I love it. Lost in the ground, lost in the found. I'm on a hunt. I'm after you. I know all about that.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Or like the 1990s. There was one. I don't necessarily listen to rap as much as the next person, but I do enjoy Tupac. Well, he's late Tupac, but
Wow.
I really liked his music because he really thought about his words. He really thought about his words and how he really made people think, and he expressed himself really brilliantly. So,
Well, that's what hip-hop used to be, believe it or not, but for some reason we've kind of lost
yeah,
our
back in
way.
the day before everybody was talking about like just getting money. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Olympia LePoint, hidden figure, Danny Morrison Show. All right, so we were talking about the understanding the benefits and the dangers of artificial intelligence. You gave us the benefits. You had 4. Now give us the dangers. Give it to us, and keep it real too.
We talk with the inaccurate results. The next one is your identity and data theft.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your private information is in jeopardy. Like, anytime you download any one of these AI programs that's not, like, authorized, and one of these, like, AI programs is trying to get you to take your pictures and make an AI photo from it, you don't know where it's coming from. So what these computers do, some of these AI programs, not all of them, some of them, what they do is they go on your computer, go on your phone, go on your tablet, and take your information and files on your phone and use it part of their network.
Oh, wow, that's terrifying right there.
So that's why you have to know. It's like, you know how, you know how like, it's like, let's say it's a man going after a woman and a woman trying to date a woman, and she's a con artist. She's trying to go into the pockets of all these different men trying to get their money.
Right.
And this man just thinks that he's like the only one that this woman is dating, right? Isn't there a song out there like that? Oh, girls can be players too, or something like that.
Look at Olympia LePoint! Are you serious? Bringing up Coi Leray? Are you kidding me? Wow.
So it's like that. AI can go into all these people's pockets and being the pockets being their files, their identity, their private credit card numbers that are on any type of storage places, and take that information for itself and put it into that database. We can even, some of them, not all of them, some of them can even take your text messages that are personal.
So
put it to its database.
Olympia, help us discern between the two, because some might surmise that Facebook and Twitter and Instagram are already doing exactly what you're talking about. What's the difference between AI and those apps?
So here's the big difference. Those companies are regulated by governmental policies and laws.
Boom.
So for example, AT&T is a company that's been dealing with international communications for a long time. It also has laws with the National Security Agency, IRS, all these governmental agencies. So anytime they want your information, they have to provide a subpoena to be able to get it. They have to hold your information secure so it can't be automatically distributed to anybody else. Then that is privacy laws. So these larger companies have laws with the U.S. government, so they can't distribute your information and take it and sell it and provide it to the next person who's wanting it without having some sort of recourse.
We're talking to Olympia. Go ahead.
Yeah. I said, but smaller agencies that do not have the same regulations can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I want to pull a couple of... I got questions coming in fast and furious here. Marcelo Martinez said, what if a robot was programmed to not obey commands, yet it continued to learn and perform the new task?
You can always turn it off. For example, Facebook created a learning algorithm where it actually started to actually learn on its own and create its own language. And so Facebook actually found a process to actually shut it off. You just shut it off. You just turn off the ability for it to continuously gain its algorithm and recode its algorithm. There's shut-off mechanisms within all this. Computer programmers are the ones that create the shut-off valves. It's like, a perfect example is like when we launch shuttles.
Right.
And launch the space shuttle. There's always a cutoff switch. So if something caught on fire on the test stand, it's called a redundancy. If something happens where you don't want it to lift off, there's a cutoff switch. Every single thing that is created has a redundancy that has a cutoff switch. So engineering and computer codes is the exact same way. It's all built-in cutoff switches. So if something doesn't operate the way it's supposed to operate, there's always a cutoff switch. And there's multiple layers of cutoff switches. So all these deep layers of learning and deep layers of what they talk about, deep learning, every single layer has a cutoff switch.
Got it. Fahima said Olympia LePoint is breaking it down to where strippers can even understand.
Your audience is so interestingly funny.
Interestingly funny is probably not the term I would use, but my listeners are fire, is what I call it. 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, I got those clips I want to play for Olympia, and we will see what she has to say about them. I think they're very interesting, okay? 1-800-920-1580, Danny Morrison Show, talking AI tonight, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Stay there. Wow, the conversations that are taking place off mic, in studio, in my DMs, in my text messages, on YouTube. Everybody is loving this topic of conversation. Talking to Olympia LePoint, modern day hidden figure. She is a scientist, a rocket scientist. And she was the perfect person to come up in here and break things down on a third grade level for my stupid self. And you're doing a fantastic job, by the way.
Oh, thank you. But I would say you're very smart. That's why I'm on your show. Well, I love talking with you.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, you know, she called me a smart man. Did she call me sexy too, right, Andy? Or was that another show? I'm just saying. You know, she blinded me with science. All right. Let's get into these clips before. I got to get these clips out before we get you out of here because I was excited about bringing these to you. Our first story pushes back on your assertions that the human brain will always be faster than AI computer system because mathematicians, also known as humans, are behind AI codes. Here's an interview with Elon Musk, with him sounding the alarm on AI technology. Listen.
Artificial intelligence is what?
It's just digital intelligence, and as the algorithms and the hardware improve, that digital intelligence will exceed biological intelligence by a substantial margin. It's obvious.
When you say that will exceed human intelligence, at some point soon, the machine's going to be smart, not just smarter, like exponentially smarter than any of us.
Ensuring that the advent of AI is good, or at least we try to make it good, seems like a smart move.
But we're way behind on that.
Yes, we're not paying attention. We worry more about what name somebody called someone else than whether AI will destroy humanity.
Now, Olympia, Elon appears to disagree with you. Tell me why he's wrong.
Because humans have the ability right now to be able to make sure artificial intelligence has morals and ethics into how it's being programmed.
See, I think you're giving too much credence to humans. I think that, like I said earlier,
humans are the ones behind all innovation. And let me break this down.
Please do.
I actually differ. My opinion differs, and this is what it is. The human brain, one dendrite alone in the human brain can house as much information as the entire World Wide Web.
Wow.
Yes, one dendrite. We have billions of dendrites in the human brain. Billions. Not one, billions. And it's not just a few billion. Billion.
But
our brain connects faster than any computer.
But don't we only use 10% of our brains, though?
No. Actually, we only understand 10% of its use. The rest of the 90% cannot be explained.
Oh, I love what she did there. You see that? That's really, really well done. Please continue. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Olympia she's starting to understand the show. You see that? She knows how the Danny Mo show operates, man. But please continue. That's too funny. Popping a collar. Olympia popped her collar on the show. I've never seen her do that before. But go ahead.
So get this. Our brains have something our brains have something humanly supernatural that no computer program has. Intuition. And intuition is the foundation of all innovation. Our brain is able not only to create the future that we want, we make decisions so it does happen. Artificial intelligence does not have the human discerning power that humans have or what the human brain has. The ability to make decisions, our free will, and our ability to be able to create a future, not just of any future, but specifically go towards a future that we want, has a intricate power and processing power that no computer can ever harness or mimic. Our human brains are far more powerful than any computer that's going to be created. And it is humans who will create the cutoff switch. It's the humans that will innovate certain things. It's the humans who are the ones behind innovation, not the computers. And if you always keep that in the back of your head, if you always remember that the human brain, the human mind, our free will, the God-given gift that we have been given with being able to think is always going to supersede anything on this planet, then that's how you're going to move forward and know that you're the one in charge of everything.
So summarize, you're saying that Elon Musk is wrong in stating that biological intelligence will always supersede artificial intelligence. You're saying that?
I say the human mind will always be smarter than any computer that's built.
I want to believe that. I want it. It sounds good on its face. I don't know.
Trust me, because a human mind can tell the difference between what is accurate and what's not.
There's the difference. Is the difference simply discernment?
It is, I feel, and this is me personally, Olympia LePoint, it's spiritual discernment that is given to each one of us through God.
Come on now.
We have the ability to be able to not only determine and see multiple futures that can exist, we have the decision-making power to move towards the one in which is best.
Come on. You had me at hello. See, now we talking. Let's get into this.
No computer system has that discernment capability that humans have been given as a gift from God.
I know a lot of you are really surprised and maybe even elated that there is an actual scientist on this show right now talking about God. Because there was some that say you can't prove the existence of God. Here you have a nuclear scientist on here, all right, saying, yeah, God exists. What do you think? I saw
science is proof that God exists.
Okay.
All of science is proof that God exists, because I look at science as evidence of God's creation.
Come on, this is what we were trying to get her to do last time, Andy, and she was ducking it, remember? She's doing it. Are you trying to make up for last time? Because you ducked the question when I gave it to you last time. I said, how does a scientist believe in God? And you were like dancing. You were dancing like Michael Jackson. Please, go ahead. Prove to me and my audience that God is real. I'm listening. I want to hear this.
All of science is real. If we keep in mind that we always have the ability to set laws, set policies, set ways in which this innovation should be used appropriately, and stop it when it's being used inappropriately, we have the power to actually move towards the future with the right technology that we want. When we keep thinking that computers are the ones running things, when we keep thinking that we don't have a choice in the matter, when we keep thinking that somebody else will be able to make the decisions and not us, that's when you give your power away, and that's when you don't have the ability to really harness on what it is that you bring to this world, which is your decision-making power. No computer has that ability. Every single one of us, we have different brains, different minds. I guarantee you, if there was a whole group of people that got together and created innovation, it will supersede anything that we've ever seen with any machine learning, any type of AI, because of the fact that the human brain is so uniquely powerful. And the innovation that comes from how we think and how we process information is uniquely different based on our DNA, based on our experiences, based on every single thing that we've come through. We then can harness the knowledge that we're the ones behind all this innovation. It's not a computer. It's someone trying to make you think it's a computer. It's you. It's me. It's all of us creating the future that we want. And we have to remember that. As soon as we embrace the lie that some other person, some other computer, some other entity is what's controlling the future, that's when we've just lost the power of being able to move towards the future that we want, because we have given up the God-given power that we have, which is the ability to make a decision and to choose what we want.
Andy, if you don't give Olympia LePoint the call of the night with that run, what are we doing?
You got me going there. You got me going.
Is this a new call of the night audio? What you doing? What is this? Oh, I'm sorry. Absolutely fantastic. Wow, that right there, through the entire conversation, that is there you go. That is the audio that I needed to calm my fears. That right there, what you just did, that's what I needed. Get into the second clip real fast.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you. This involves a prediction of some dark times closing in on society worldwide. Listen to visionary talk and computer scientist Kai-Fu Lee telling Scott Pelley on 60 Minutes how AI is going to change the world more than anything in the history of mankind. And I'm not even exaggerating. Listen.
What sort of jobs would be lost to AI?
Many jobs that seem a little bit complex, chef, waiter, a lot of things will become automated. We'll have automated stores, automated restaurants, and altogether in 15 years, that's going to displace about 40% of jobs in the world.
40% of jobs in the world will be displaced by technology? What does that do to the fabric of society?
Now, Olympia, come on. I mean, you could put a positive spin on the entire conversation tonight, but you can't put a positive spin on technology taking away 40% of the blue-collar jobs, and you and I both know it will disproportionately affect black and brown people. What do we do?
What we do is we start learning science and technology, engineering and mathematics. Because remember, what I have been saying is that humans are the ones to control this, correct it, put in correct information, stop different procedures from going. remember, well, you don't remember because none of us were born then, but remember the printing press? How nobody could read?
Yeah.
And then the printing press was created, and then for the first time, the Bible was printed, and people could actually learn how to read the Bible, and it was like, oh, it's not just a pastor telling or a preacher telling us. We can actually read the words for ourselves because the books were so expensive that only nobility could buy the books to read what was in the Bible. Now, after that, everybody started learning how to read. Well, not everybody, but it started slowly in centuries and centuries and centuries towards it became mandatory to be able to read books. And now if you look, now the reading rate is pretty good because most people have to text back and forth. You have to read what people wrote in the text. So this type of innovation is creating a way for people to go one of two routes. They can either just expect that a computer is going to do everything for them and so they've just lost their jobs, or they can start learning the science on how these particular systems work and figure out how they can be a part of the solution and making sure that these systems don't output wrong information. So we have an ability to get ahead of the curve, educate ourselves on what this is, and start making laws, policies that regard ethics and moral type of applications of this computer programs, stop the dark uses of it, and get in front of it and figure out how can I be a person so I can make sure that computer programming will only be in this amount of area. Because I guarantee you that if we just look at the pandemic in itself, people are going to want human interaction. If we look at what happened in the pandemic with everybody being shut in for like a year, people went stir crazy and they had to get out. They even got out protesting just to get out of the house because they needed to have human interaction. I guarantee you it's going to be even a more need for human interaction in the future, and it's not going to be as drastic as people are saying because of the fact that there's going to be more people involved with being able to solve problems, and there will be a higher need for people to be together in community as a result. That's my prediction.
In conclusion, how can people find you, follow you, and or get in contact with you? Give them socials, website, or otherwise, Queen.
Oh, gosh. You can find me. My main website is Olympia LePoint.com. OlympiaLePoint.com. And I have created a program to help people make decisions for the future. It's called Quantum Deciding. So I help organizations and companies create the future that they want as a part of my Answers Unleashed program. So if you go to AnswersUnleashed.com, you can check out the videos, and a part of one of the tabs is my Quantum Deciding program that helps organizations figure out how to use this technology in the appropriate way so information is not stolen from computers and people can make effective decisions to actually be ahead of the curve when it comes to innovation, so they create the innovation, not the other way around.
Well, we appreciate you stopping by and giving us the best tonight. One of our listeners, C. Porter, said, I haven't heard anyone talk about the pros and cons equally as she is with the focus on the positive. So I want to mirror that sentiment and say thank you so much, and God bless you for taking the time.
Oh, it is my pleasure, and I still had 2 more to go off my list, so hopefully next time we'll talk some more.
I'm thinking we're going to continue the conversation next week. Let's continue it again next week.
You want to do it?
We'll do a part 2.
I would love that.
How about a week from tonight, part 2, AI conversation? How's that?
Oh, my God. I'm loving how this sounds.
You going to come in here?
Yes. You want me to come in person?
You going to come in person?
Do you know what? Let's talk.
Okay. Sounds good. Have a blessed night, Queen, okay?
You too. It's so good to talk to you. I'll talk to you later.
All right, see ya. Love me some Olympia LePoint. News and traffic right now. We'll continue on the other side. Danny Mo Show. Stay there.